Good morning, fellow stampers and friends. How are you today? Happy Friday. I just noticed I don't know why this thing is rocking here. Okay, there we go. Welcome to Friday. It is Nemi Batstone here. I'm coming to you from my crafty studio in Cooks Creek, Manitoba. Just 20 minutes northeast of Winnipeg. Oh, I got that nice big shadow. So I'm going to make sure I avoid that shadow. I had to turn on the lights today in my studio. I have two big, massive 6x6 windows. And the sun is just hiding. So it's not bringing in enough light my way. So I had to turn it on. So now I've got this big shadow from my pot lights above. And I'm also missing a piece of papier. So where did that paper go? It was right here. Okay. Anywho, is it this one? Nope. I was using it last night. So anyway, don't forget to like, share, and comment while you're here. In doing so, you'll get this week's cards. I know I wasn't here Monday or Tuesday, but I'll make sure I add in a card or two. Actually, I need to get my kits done, so I'll probably be working on those and I'm throwing a couple samples, but I am going to be busy. So what's your weekend going to be like? Mine is full of soccer. The kids are in the Boston Pizza tournament. I don't know. It's just a fun tournament. It's not a tournament that we like to, boast and be participating in. Because it doesn't really do us much good except for give us a little bit of fun touch time. So anyhow, that is what's happening. And that means I'm stuck there all day tomorrow in the heat from 10 till 6. Oh, yeah. I told Bart we're packing the tent because I cannot handle that heat without a tent. And tons of Gatorade. So I'm going to buy a case or two of Gatorade today to keep the boys hydrated. Okay, so what do we got? I'm going to do a few announcements and then we're going to give her. I got a fun fold for you that we're going to create from scratch together, so I got to be on the ball here. So, reminder that on next Tuesday, we are into June. I cannot believe May 31st is Sunday. And then coming Monday is June 1st, which means June 2nd, we release a new product of the month. How cute is he? She, they. So we are rolling out a stamp set, no matching dies or anything like that, for $7. You get this cute Wild Bunch stamp set that features these gorgeous animals, and they are so fun, with a few sentiments and some patterns I think you'll love, for $7. But you must place a minimum order of $100 or more, and you will get this and then you have to add this to your order for $7. So write the number 167987. So when your retail sales reaches 100, you're going to add this number 167987, add it to the cart for an extra $7. So your total order will be $107. Okay, and also it's available in French. So any of my French speaking friends or any of you in Canada that prefers the French, then you can also order it in French instead. Good morning, Shell. Thanks for joining me this morning. Happy Friday. So make sure you add that to your order. The new paper pumpkin is coming out and is available right now. So by June 10th, you need to sign up for it. There's some really great hints here as to what's happening, along with some silver foil and silver embellishments, which means we're getting some butterfly silver embellishments, I think. So that's going to be neat. I don't get to see it. I got to wait. So when the June 10th hits, they'll bill you and then it will ship the next day. So I'm looking forward to getting that one. New Starter Kit ends May 31st. So if you're a big Stampin' Up fan or you love creating, Stampin' Up has an offer where you can get 20% off every order you place. And the starter kit, if you order it now by May 31st, you pick whatever you want in there, up to $165, and you'll get the $100 value of the in color stamp sets, ink pads. So, but if you prefer to spend you don't want the ink pads and you'd rather have more product, well, then you can spend up to $215. Your choice, whatever you want. Up to, and only pay $135. No shipping, no PST, just GST. So you pay $144.50 and everything comes to you. So looking forward to that. Love the new ink pads. They are a lot of fun, but me personally, I go with $215 because I can instantly, as soon as I get my demonstrator ID, I can place an order and get 20% off all 5 ink pads and just pay $80. So, you know, just some thought. But if you want to learn more, just email me and I will work that out for you. We still have products that are currently not available. They go fast. So don't forget, if you want to know when they're available, make sure you check off that little box where underneath and make sure your email address goes in there. And then and then click notify me. So then when you do that, you'll get notified, because sometimes they say, oh, not available until the week of June 8th. And then it comes early, right? So you want to make sure that that's there. Good morning, Christine. Yes, it's warm today. Very warm today. My son has track and field today, and they decided due to the heat, they're going to split it up. So they're going to do 4 hours this morning and then 4 hours again Monday morning, because the heat's just awful, right? So yeah, oh yeah, good thing you finished your walk, because I don't know, it's supposed to get hotter and hotter as the day goes on. Okay, so we're gonna create a fun fold today I think you'll like, and we're on the last day of our berry vellum, right, which was last month's product of the month. So I want to use it up and create one more, and so we're gonna work with fresh freesia and white willow here. And I made the card, and I hate my card, so we're going to redo it, but the design is there. So it's a fun fold, and you can see I didn't finish it because I was not happy with it, and it just opens up like so. So we're going to finish this up, and it stands like this. So then you see that little piece there, and it's super cute, super simple. It's kind of a twist on a Z fold. So because you have this here. So normally the Z fold would be like this, like flush like this. But this time we're adding in that little bump there. Good morning, Kathy. Good morning. Okay, so we're gonna make that card. And if you missed it yesterday night, I did my May craft along. And so we created this Hello Sunshine card, and then this gift card holder, and then as well as a very simple but yet elegant card. So you can catch that on my YouTube channel. I like to create playlists all the time. So this playlist is listed under monthly card classes. So definitely look that up and it will be listed there. And you can create them yourself. Okay, coffee sip, and now let's get crafty. So we're gonna need, we're gonna need 2 sheets of fresh freesia. Hang on, I'm a little slow. So with 2 sheets of fresh freesia, you'll be able to make 2 cards. So, so whatever your card base is, you can easily duplicate with 2. So we're gonna grab our paper trimmer. And the reason I say that is, the first card you're gonna cut is gonna be, we're gonna need our arm, 5.5 by 6.5. So what I'm going to do to conserve my paper, and we'll end up with 2 cards, is I'm going to rotate it first and cut it to 6.5. That is an option. This is how you get 2 cards out of 1. Now, or out of 2 sheets. And if you prefer, you can also not do this and then just use your other piece for a standard card base. But because I know I'm going to waste this one, I'm going to, do it. So 6.5, because that is our base. So now I'm left with this 2-inch strip. 2-inch, right? Yeah. I'm not sure if my math is on par today. So I can save this 2-inch strip, which would be great as 2 pieces of belly band for another card. So I'm going to add that in my cards, my scrap pile for later. So now I'm going to score this at 5.5. And now I have 2 card bases. Ta-da! So a standard card is 4 1/4. Sorry, my corner here is all, I'm going to switch it because my corner is all yucky. So a standard base is 4 1/4. So we're going to score that at 4 1/4 there. Okay. So I'm going to score both pieces because we have 2. We might as well use it. And that becomes our card base. Now to do our fun fold, you can do your fun fold at any width you want. I chose 3 inches. So I chose 3 inches here. And you know what? I think I'm going to go to 3 1/4. So I'm going to add a 1/4 inch so that I can conserve my designer series paper. So then I'm going to go to 3 1/4. Oh, we need 10 1/2. So first I'm going to remove the 1/2 inch strip because we need to be at 10 1/2. So on my paper trimmer, I'm going to be a 1/2 inch over here and I'm going to be 10 1/2 over there. That tells me my paper is actually 11 inches. Have you ever noticed too, sometimes if you do not buy Stampin' Up! Cardstock, sometimes it's too short or too long and you're like, what? Why am I a 1/2 inch here? It should add up to 11 and I'm only at 10 1/4. They gypped me a 1/4 inch. Anyway, it happens. Okay. So now you have this 1/2 inch because we're at 10 1/2 and you can use this for sentiments on any other card. Do some heat embossing and you're good to go. Okay, so now I said we're going to do this at 3 1/4 instead of 3 inch. My original card was at 3 inches, so then I had to do everything at 2 3/4. Well, it's a lot easier to cut designer series paper at 3 inches. So we're going to cut this at 3 1/4. And then I need another one because we're doing 2 cards. Now, I'm prepping for 2 cards, but I'm going to only show you how to make one. And then the other one, I'm going to use later for some different designer series paper. Okay, so now we need to score this. Are you ready? Good morning, Kathy. Did I say good morning to you? Yes, I did. I believe I did. Thanks for joining me today. Okay, so we're going to score this at 4 different points. So we're going to score it at 2 inches. So that's going to give us our the front piece that sticks to the front of the card. If this was a Z fold, we would score at like 4 inches. Okay, so now we're at 2. And then we're going to score at 3 so that we have that little fold, the smaller fold. Then we're going to score at 5 1/2, which would be, if it was a Z fold, your other fold. And then we're going to go to 8 inches. Okay. Okay, let's see here. 8 inches. Now, this piece, is going to be slightly tight against that piece, so I usually like to just trim off just a wee bit, or I could have went a wee bit there, just so that I can tuck that in there without any problems. So we're just gonna trim that. Oh, you know what? I'll show you first what I mean, and then I'll trim it. So I'll bring that back in. So let me score this for you so you know what I mean. Okay, so we're going to score this. So this is going to go backwards. And then this is going to go back. So there's our little cup. And then everything else is going to go forward. So we go forward. And then this goes here forward as well. So sometimes I don't need to trim, but sometimes I do. So then this folds like so. So you can see how it doesn't go flush here. It's because it's touching too tight to that line, to this score line here. So this is what I'm saying is, and I wanted to show you why, is that you're just going to trim that just a tad. So I'm just going to line it up to the other side. So it's probably going to trim off about 1/8. So then that way I get a little flush. So I literally trimmed like a 1/16, like so small. And now when I close it, now it's flat, see? So you just have to get that little piece off there. So this piece is going to be slightly thinner when we actually put pattern on it, but that's okay. So now we have that. Okay, so that is that piece. That's your fun fold piece. And then I'm going to put these two aside because this is my second card. And then this is your front, your card base. So I'm gonna score that like so. And then add this. So this is our piece that's gonna sit right here. So now those are your base. Ta-da! So with that said, we need to decorate. So because I'm using vellum and I want it's only one-sided, I'm gonna just add in a little bit of the white. So I'm gonna add white to make everything pop. So I got a piece of white willow here. So this piece is your standard card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/4, right? Like, because you always go, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So you always want to go a 1/4 inch smaller. But this time I'm only going to do 1/8 smaller because I'm going to layer the vellum over top. So we need a piece there. So it's 4 1/4. So I always like to line up my piece to 4 1/4. And then we're going to go 1/8 smaller, which is 2 notches. 2 tick marks on your paper trimmer. So I should be at 4 1/8. So there we go. Then I'm going to rotate it. And your standard base is 5 1/2. So we're going to go 2 tick marks less. So that's 5 3/8. And then I'm going to make a second one because we have 2 cards. Okay, so one's going to go to this card and my other one's going to go to my second card. And then I have a piece of scrap, which is perfect for sentiment writing. So I'm going to leave that there in case I need it. So that takes care of that. Now this one here, we have 2, right? So we did this at 6 1/2 and we did 4 1/4. So now we're left with 2 1/4. Oh my gosh, the math. Doesn't that hurt your head? Good morning, Patty. How are you? How's things? Thank you for joining me. So I'm at 2 1/4. So we're going to go 2 1/8, right? So let's line up another piece. Then I grab my white willow. I like to use white willow because then I'm using a whole sheet. So that piece is 2 1/4. And we're going to go 2 notches, 2 tick marks less. So 1, 2. So we're at 2 1/8, which pretty much said so in our ruler anyway. Okay, so we're going to cut that down. And we're going to need 2 pieces. Okay, so we're 5 1/2. So we're going to go 2 notches, and that is 5 3/8. And I need 2 pieces because I have both sides that need to be covered. So 1. Okay, let me say, you don't have to do this, by the way. If you'd prefer not to double layer, that is fine. And now you have a nice piece, which works perfectly for my Hello Sunshine card. Look at that. Perfect match. Oh my gosh. I'm totally keeping that for later. And that's my 2 pieces. So these 2 go here. Let's make sure. Yep. So 1 there, 1 there. So now this base is now done. Okay. So now we got this baby here. So this one is 2 inches remember the 2 inches was our first one. And I went 3 1/4 inches, right? 3 1/4. So then we need a piece that is 3 1/4 minus 2 notches. So that's 3 1/8. So I'm lined up at 3 1/8. That's for people who don't like to do math. So the first one, again, was 2 inches. So we're going to go 2 tick marks less, which is 1 7/8. And that'll be our first one. Okay. So there's our first. So let's make sure I'm right. Yes, look at that. Perfect fit. Okay. So now we have this one, which is 1 inch. So we're going to line up at the 1 inch mark and go 2 tick marks less. So that's 7/8. Oh, I hate going that way. I have to go this way because then my fingers are not in the way. So that's 7/8. You don't have to do this one, but you know, it's there. Okay. And then we have our next piece. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces to do. So this piece here, sorry, I didn't write them all down, but you watch the video, you'll be good. This piece is, I think it's 2 1/4. Oh, it's 2 1/2. So we're gonna go 2 3/8. 2 1/2. Let's go 2 1/2. So 2 1/2. It should be around 2 1/2 because what did I score it at, yeah, because I scored it at 5.5, so it's 2.5. So then we're going to go 2.5 minus 2 tick marks. So that's 2 3/8. I think we only have one of those, and then the other ones are 2 1/4. So then that's this piece here. And yep, I'm pretty good. I was just making sure because my score line's a little heavier there. So that's our third piece. And then we have our last two. Now these you should be able to cut the same, but because remember we trimmed off that little hair, it's gonna change. So this one is 2.5. Oh, see, I was right. And we're gonna go 2 3/8 again. I think these ones were the even ones, but we did cut it. So then this one should fit here, and it does. Look at that beauty. So those ones were the same. So this one was 2.5. So we got this side to do, but we trimmed off that wee bit. So I'm gonna go 3 tick marks just because we trimmed off that tiny little piece. And let's see if we have enough left over. Oh, we're short. We're short by a hair. However, we could make it work. So that fits perfectly. So this folds, and then we're short here. Literally. So you could trim this down to get what you want, or you trim another piece. Sucks-a-rooey. So we'll just trim another piece. So I'm at 3 1/4. I was almost there. And then, so that was 2.5 minus 3 tick marks. Right there, I think. And that'll be my third piece here. Or my last piece. Oh la la. This is scrap. I don't keep that. Okay. That is our entire base. So we have that piece that goes there. This one that goes there. And then here. Excuse me. And then here. Here. And here. So there's all of our pieces. So now we have all of our bases done. So at this point, we can glue them all down if we like. But I'll just save all our gluing for later. And why am I saving all of our gluing for later? What am I missing here? I got that. Oh yeah, the DSP. like, why am I saving my gluing for later? Oh, it might be a little tight after adding all that layers in there. Oh no, I think we're still good. Excellent. I could have did it. Could have. So that is an option. Okay, so now we need our designer series paper. So I'm going to grab a piece here. So we're back to this dude. So now we're back to this. And I'm going to cut 2 pieces that'll fit here on the front. So remember, this was 2.5. So now we're going to go to 2 1/4. Which is what I believe I should be at. So just double check here. 2 1/4. Oh, we're going to 2 inches. I lied. So I'll just double check. I'm just going to do my math. Double check. Yeah, 2 inches. Okay, so I need 2 pieces at 2 inches. Am I 4 on this one? No, I'm not going to waste this one. So let's grab, oh, maybe this one. What's this piece at? Oh, still short. Because I need 2 inches. Oh, I'll just cut it then. I need 2 of them. So 2 inches. I'll line that up in my paper trimmer. Oh, look at that. And I got a perfect 1.5 there. Okay, so it's vellum, so it's a little slippery. So make sure you hold that tight. And we're going to go 5 1/4. And I need 2. Because one for the outside, one for the inside. I mean, you can change it up as you like, but that's the path I'm taking. Okay, and then you get that little piece. You can save that for that patch quilt card design. Okay, so then this goes here on top. So now you can see how the white makes the vellum pop more, right? And you could flip it and use the duller side if you want, but I want to use the bright. Okay, that's that. And then we have our inside piece here. So we're going to grab another piece of vellum. And this one I'll do the flowery one. Like the big, big flowery one. And I don't think I have a 4-inch piece. I'll double check. Oh, I think I do. Oh, I could use this one. Whew. I got flying pieces. Okay. So let's cut this one down to 4. Actually, I'll go this way first because I don't want to waste my bottom. And I kind of like this piece because it's got lots of flower, lots of the fresh freesia flowers in it. So we're going to use this one. So I'm going to cut this to, if I do this one, wait, how wide is this? Oh, this is 6 inches. So I want all these flowers. So I'll cut this way first then. So I'm going to cut it to 4 inches. Because then I get a 2-inch piece as my scrap. And then I'm going to cut it to 5 1/4. There. And then I got all those purple flowers. And I look at them, look at a perfect square here I can use for another card. Or stick it on a scrapbook page. Okay, so that is this. So this is now done and complete. So that's that. And then we need all of our little squares for this one. For our other piece here. Okay, so now here you can do whatever you want and whatever patterns you like. You know, or you don't even have to. Like maybe for the front one, we'll keep this one blank and then put a sentiment on it. And then, so I'm going to take a piece of green. Where's my polka dot green? I thought I had some scraps. Let me just double check here. Oh, I do. They're over here. So here's my scrap piece. So I need a piece that is 3/4. So I'm going to just cut a hole because I don't think I have a small. I don't think I have a scrap. Nope. This is the biggest scrap I got. So that was a 1-inch strip down the middle there. So I'm going to take a 3/4 inch strip. And then we're going to cut this to 3 inches. Because remember I cheated and I used, oh, I want one with more dots. So I'm going to go this way because this one has more dots on this side. So we're just going to trim that to 3 inches. Okay, so now this becomes our wee little piece here. Okay, we didn't do the front because we're going to do some, we're just going to stamp it with a sentiment. Okay, so that's that piece. I'm just going to put it here to the side. I'll just put it up here so you see it. And then this one was our front, right? Yeah. Okay, so this one was our front. So we're just going to add a sentiment to that one. And then we have our other pieces. So one of these pieces we definitely need to write on. Okay, so let's do this next one. And then this one on the inside, we can do another flower piece. Because I have a nice thin one. Let's see if this one fits. Oi, it's too short. Too short. Inside. And then we could do... I mean, it's really up to you what you want to do. But I'm just trying to use up as much as I can. I almost feel like I should do another green strip because I feel like I'm missing out on it. But we could do that at the end. I can't pick up the papers. They're so slippery. So slippery, but so nice. Okay, let's see if this one is... Nope. Not long enough. No, it's just a 1/4 inch short. So we're going to have to cut another piece. So let's pull this in. And what colors went? Oh, there's some flowers here in the middle. So we could steal that. Not as much on the end. So we're all on the middle side here. So we're going to go, what was it? Let's measure this piece again. So this one's 2.5, so we need 2 inches. So, oh, did I say 2.5? It is, that's a weird piece. 2 3/8. Oh yeah, so it should be 2.5. Sorry, I lied. 2.5, my apologies. Okay, gotta make sure I get it right. I don't want to screw you up. Okay, so there we go. And then we need 3 inches. But I kind of want this middle piece here. So my 6-inch mark is there. So if I want that middle one, because I don't see a lot of fresh freesia up here, I'm going to be cray-cray and cut this. I'll cut it at 4. So then I have a 2 and something piece by 4, which I can use. And then I'm going to go 3 inches right here. You ever done that before? You cut up your DSP, so you're really looking for pattern, not so much everything else. So then there's that piece. So then that fits. Beautiful. Love it. So I think that's our 3rd one. And then, what was this one? Okay, let me just double check, make sure I got my pieces right. Oh, yes, that's the inside. Okay. Okay, so then our next piece, we're not going to put anything on because we want a spot to write sentiments. And then we have our last 2. Yes. And I'm just going to do a quick check to make sure I didn't screw that up. Yeah, it's these last 2. Okay, then we have our last 2. So for our last 2, oops, I missed it. Sorry, just trying to pick it back up because I left it. I left it behind. There we go. That didn't work. Where's my other piece? Sorry, just doing quick check. Is that an extra? Hang on. Hang on, I did something wrong. I think that's the extra. Oh, that's the back piece. There we go. This is the front. Okay, there we go. So front, middle, next, next, and then, what? Why do I have extra? Sorry, just want to make sure I got it right. There, and then, oh, there's my 2 pieces. Okay, now I got it. Okay, that kind of stuff just happens, I'm telling you. Okay, so now I'm going to use a piece of purple again. So we're going to bring that, if I can pick it up, purple and the green. And I'm going to have to cut that one. So this piece is going to be, it's a little weird because we cut it weird. So this one's 2 1/4, and this one is 2 1/4. Oh, I thought it was different. Okay, so 2, and then so I want to maximize. So 2 1/4 minus 2. Make sure I got that right. And then we're gonna go 3 inches, I believe. Okay, so that's gonna go on the inside piece. That's this one here. So that falls in like that. So it's really confusing because I tried to line up the lines and I know the lines aren't straight. So I should like stop looking at that. And then we're gonna do the same thing with the green. I thought I had another strip, but I don't. So we're going to cut off 2 1/4 minus 1. So we'll be left with, let me just double check here, 6 inches, just under 6, which is actually works out really good. Okay, so, and then we need a 3. Okay, so then this becomes our outside piece, and that fits perfectly there. And that's the last. Oh my gosh, that was so much. But we're going to do a little bit of fussy cutting maybe. So, let's get this going. Let's get this party started. So, I was going to do a happy birthday. And then, because you know, that's the way I always roll. For some reason, I really like that. So, it's like, I don't know why. But I think this one I'm going to do as a, it's like a sympathy card, but I don't think it'll fit. Darn, it's not going to fit. So we're going to use a different one. And maybe with this will fit. Let's see if my fern and flora will fit. I don't know. Wow, somebody loved that one. Nope. No, it's a little tighter than I thought. So, let's go old school then. I don't think that's gonna fit either, but let's see. Oh, it might. Okay, all a flutter. Let's try that one. Because there's one piece that says fluttering by. I like this one. It says fluttering by to say hi. And then we can add some more of those butterflies we used last time. Oakley dokley. So I'm going to use, so what goes really well with this, obviously, we've got lots of pieces in here that has Peaceful Pine, and we have some of the pinks. So I'm going to use the Misty Moonlight and Peaceful Pine, wherever I think I need it. So we'll start with Misty Moonlight, and we'll stamp the first piece. We don't really need much. All we need is really this front part, and that's it. So fluttering by, because everything else is just part. It's just designer series paper. You don't need much. So I'm gonna put that there, right about there. So it's kind of boring, but it's like, this is where your designer series paper just does all the work for you. You don't have to do anything. Just pick your patterns and lay it out. And if you want to, you can, but I feel like it's just not necessary. Okay, fluttering by to say hi. There we go. And then we're gonna add some butterflies. So, oh, maybe I'll use this and we'll do a two-step. So then we're gonna grab some of our scrap here. I wonder if it'll fit. Oh, it'll fit on this. So I'm gonna take the butterflies from here. So we have two patterns on this butterfly. So we have this one and this one. So I'm gonna use this one so we can add some color. And then I'm gonna take that. Okay, so here it is. It's all stuck together because it comes with a punch. So we're gonna lay that flat, and I'm gonna go close to the bottom so that I have a handle when I use the punch. Oh, where's my punch? That is the question. Where's the punch? Because, oh, I see it. I wasn't originally going to use this one. Okay, so then we're gonna pick that up. And we're gonna stamp it with our Misty Moonlight because it's here. So I'm gonna stamp that like so. Thanks, Christine. It looks complicated for your Friday brain. I agree. That's why I thought, I'm just gonna do it from scratch. And that's why I always like to go, okay, 5.5 minus 2 tick marks. No brain required. No processing required. You just know that it's 5.5. Because that's our standard number. We always know. Okay, and then we're gonna go. It is a lot of work, but that's fun folds. That's the pity of the fun folds. I love it. I agree. That's why I was like 5.5 minus 2. I'm not gonna write out the dimensions. I'm gonna give you a shortcut. So I'm just checking to make sure my polymer stamp is not stretched and I won't have a problem and it looks fine. So we're just gonna pick that up. Because polymer stamps, you can stretch and bend them. So if I put them back in the case without, noticing I did that, then it becomes a problem. Okay, so coordinating color for this one is Golden Glow. So we're gonna go Golden Glow. You could go red too, but pretty much there's nothing, we see a lot of the purple, and then obviously this here is our card base. So you could do purple. We could do purple, like Fresh Freesia. And then, or we could do these, but I'm picking a color that's not very noticeable, which is pretty much the Golden Glow. You don't see much of it, whereas the purple's already standing out, and so is the blue. And so we took the Misty Moonlight there. Does that make sense? I don't know. Anyway, I don't know either. Okay, so then we're gonna go like this and make sure we're good. I'm gonna stamp this on a piece of scrap first. Let me grab something from the garbage and make sure I'm good. Okay, so it looks a little dark, but I just want to make sure I'm good. It'll dry light. If I did second generation, Okay, we could do that. Okay, so I'm going to stamp off. And then, hopefully, get that out of my way. Stamp on. So I'm going to line up the top butterfly and the bottom left-hand butterfly here and hope that I'm bang on. Let's see. Pretty darn good. There you go. Now, I label mine so that, or this way, so I have a label. Oh, 2 labels on the wrong side. There. I should just label the lid. Why didn't I just label the lid and it just doesn't go? Anyway, so we'll do that. And then I'm going to grab the coordinating punch for that, which is this one, Olive Flutter. And then we're just going to stick that in there. Ooh. Oh no, look what I did. I did it wrong. It's supposed to be the other way. Oh, it doesn't line up. It lines up this way. Nope, no it doesn't. Why am I not lining up? Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Oh, there we go. It's Friday, right? It's Friday. The problem is it's Friday. And I've been like living, I don't know. I find that now that I'm older, I lived through 3 time zones in 2 weeks. And so I'm just lost. I'm constantly checking to see what day it is and what time it is. So I'm like, what is wrong? Sorry, I'm trying to line this up. So I'm lined up on the bottom here. And then I think I'm finally good here at the top. Oh, it's shifted. So I'm going to push a little to lock it in place. And then I think I'm good. There we go. Now we got our 3 butterflies. Whew. 3 flutterbys. So, and now we can stick these on here as our front as we see fit. So I might go this way, like so, kind of thing. Okay, now I'm also going to pull out, I know, like what is she doing? Just way too much work. Where is it? Holidays, there it is. Is it this one? That had the, oh no, that's not it. Sorry, I should have did this earlier because I thought of it after. There was one that had, what's this stencil that has the grass? Okay, I can't find it, so we'll just use this one. So I'll just use this. Oakley. Because we have no paper. So I'm gonna grab this one, which is Fern and Flora, and then we're just gonna put some little pattern on the bottom. So I'm gonna use the stamp sets from this one and just add a little bit of greenery. So I'm gonna grab a few of these. I'm gonna grab this big guy. I know he's massive. And there's moths in this one. At first I thought they were butterflies, and then Kathy was kind enough to note, you know, that it is cut the tip off by a small butterfly. Cut the tip off by a small butterfly. Oh, you mean like when I lay it flat kind of thing? I think I kind of understand what you're saying. But you know, my brain's not working as well yet either. So, but we'll see what it looks like when we lay it down. So I'm gonna grab some big blocks here. And I just want to put some green along the bottom. So I'm gonna grab Peaceful Pine because that's our other coordinating color. I was gonna stamp flowers and I really don't want to because there's enough flowers going on here. So I'm just gonna put one there and then maybe one here. And then we're gonna grab this one. So you can see I'm not adding a lot of, what do you call it? Ink per se. So like that. So then we have that little bit there on the bottom so it doesn't look a little lost. And then I'm gonna close this up, wipe my table, and then, okay, I'll probably understand what you mean, Shell, when I put it together. Okay, I'm gonna clean that up. That's it. That's it, I'm telling you, that's it. So let's go. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna need more Seal Plus. So let me get a refill pack ready. because I can tell when I was using it, I'm already at the red. So we're going to use this up and we're going to get this going. Oh, kitty. Oh, I already ruined this one. Okay, let's see if we can get any more out of this one. I think I'm already dead on this one. Yep, dead. See? So we just pop this open, pull this out, garbage, open up our new pack of seal. Oh, fresh pack. Love it. Line it up. Line it up back in there. So the holes just line up there. These two holes. And we put our lid on. And we're ready to go again. Okay. Yay! Fresh roll. And then we're just going to pull and tap. Now again, if you use liquid, you have to wait till the liquid settles. Otherwise, you won't... Otherwise, you'll see through it, and then you'll see these squiggly marks where you put your liquid. Okay, there we go. So that one goes here. So again, I'll just use Seal Plus because we have it. I won't use as much. Oh, my cat is crying again. Probably wants to go outside again after he just came in. He's like a revolving door. In, out, in, out. Okay, and then our next piece, same thing. Add our adhesive. And there. And there. You know, I'm so glad it's summer, but honestly, I can't stand the heat. So... It's like I don't like spring because of all the puddles and the water and the mess it makes. And then summer comes and I'm like, I can't stand the heat. So I can't win. My favorite time of the year is fall. Because then you can just layer, layer, layer. Right? How about you? What's your favorite? Do you like summer? I mean, I have one friend who loves summer. She hates winter. And when summer comes, she's like in heaven. She loves the heat. And I'm just like, oh, I can't stand it. And she's in tank tops and shorts. And then she like burns like a crisp because she just loves the heat. Doesn't care. And if she's by water, she's even happier. She's like a little fish. She doesn't always go in the water, but she just wants to be by the water to cool off. And then that's it. And I'm like, oh, I can't do it. I'm like, bring on the AC. The older I get, the harder it is, I think. Because I used to play beach volleyball when I was a kid. When I was younger, in my 20s. And I was like, 20s and 30s, I guess. Because I stopped when I got pregnant with Benjamin. And then, you know, I can't jump anymore. So I can't do any of that. So I had to quit. But other than that, I'm like, I'm so not a summer person. So I'm like, okay, gotta get into the garden at 6 a.m. because I can't stand the heat. Okay, so there's our base. So ta-da. Summer, you're summer. Use a sponge to apply Tombow glue to vellum. Yeah, you can do it that way too. And you have to have a silicone mat for that one. So just a reminder, you need a silicone mat for that if you do it as Shell suggests. So thank you for the great tips. That's what we're all here for. So everybody can do different options. Thank you for sharing. Okay, and then this. So this is our first piece, right? So that's what's going here. And oops. This is where I like the Tombow glue because then I can just move it around as I go. Okay, and then our next piece. So I'll just put a strip on this now. I don't know why I flipped it. It's the same no matter what. And that piece goes here. So see, once you get all your pieces cut, there's a lot of cutting, right? Then you're pretty much set. And I'm just gonna add that there and lay that one right on top. That's our middle. And then our next one, which was this one here. Oh, I have 2 pieces. Oh yes, I'm supposed to have 2 pieces. Okay, so I'll add adhesive. I'll lay this one here next to it. Yeah, and I'm not looking forward to, oh, like every year, that's the dull side, that's the bright side, okay. So every year at this time, well, so far, next year we won't be doing it. It's the Boston Pizza Tournament, which is all the way out on John Bloomberg. So, by the golf course there, and there's like no shade. So I'm like, and it's always, no matter what, hot and humid. Well, last year it wasn't hot and humid. Last year was smoky. Remember last year at this time we had all those smoke issues? Crazy. Glad we don't have them this year, but still, it was insane. So a lot of delay of game. And then you add in the heat, which is also an issue. So that wasn't fun either. Okay, see how quick it is now? Because, you know, we did all our cutting. All that work was just in the cutting. And again, if you have gorgeous designer series paper, this is where it is. This is the card to do it with. Because you literally just show off all those patterns. And the paper, the designer series paper does all the work. All you're doing is laying it out into all the blocks where you want to see it fit. And I'm trying to get this to line up. Okay, and then this side. So yeah, it's fun, I'm telling you. And oh, I have some adhesive sticking out there. And then this goes here. Ooh, that looks a little short, but I think we're okay. And then the last one. I'm the same with you. I like it when it's around between 20 and 22. 22 to 24, I'm a 22 and 20. Yeah, anything over that, like, anything over 22, I'm like a wimp. I'm like, oh, it's so hot. The nice thing about living in the country is that, you know, you have all that space. I'm like 5-minute drive to Birds Hill Park. So when it's super hot out, after dinner, or even right after school, we'll drive over. Because people are leaving, right? All the city people will leave because they want to get home in time for supper. So we're just arriving, they're all leaving. And then we can go swimming. I used to have a pool in the backyard here, but I was doing all the work of cleaning it, making sure it's good. And I told the kids, if you want that pool, then you got to do your job. And they refused. They would barely clean it. And then I'm like, okay, then that's it. Pool gone. Now we just throw on our bathing suits, grab a towel, and then just go. And then when we're done, we just come home. When Brady was younger, we would take hot dogs with us and just cook them while we're there. And then we'd still be home by 7. So, you know, back in the day. Okay, now all we have to do is glue this. So you can see here how thick it gets, right? So you don't need a lot of dimensionals because of the fact that you already got your thickness. So that's going to lay there. So I'm just going to flip this, add my adhesive here. So I'm just going to add, it's too thick. Just going to add a strip there along that side. And then I'm going to put that back into position so that I know. Toot, toot, toot. And then I'm going to lay this so that way I'm making sure I'm just even here on the 3 sides so that way the rest will just fall into place. Okay, I think I'm pretty good. And then I'm just going to flatten that there. So that holds that. Now you could add more adhesive if you want, but I think that's enough. Then we're going to flip it, and then we're just going to add adhesive here to the back side of this one. And just close it. And our card is done. Now it's just a matter of whatever embellishments you want. So you can see here, you get the 2 greens and then all the flowers, and then you open it up, and then you open this up, and there's your little sentiment. Or your words of love, and it goes like that. Ta-da! Okay, the mosquitoes are bad. They were crazy last night too here. I wasn't outside, but my husband was, and he was like, oh my God, the mosquitoes are here. It's like, that's another thing I don't like about Winnipeg, about the weather. So I'm not going to use dimensionals on these because it's super thick, as I mentioned. So we're just going to lay this flat. You can curl your ends if you want, but if you're going to gift this to someone in person, then by all means, pop this up. But because I'm pretty much like thick already, like we're so thick that I'm just going to lay this down because it's going to be oversized mail. Now, originally I had it on that side, but now that I've got everything assembled, I'm seeing a change in the way I want this laid out. So can go like that, and then even this one can go here. So we could have this one hanging off this one. So then that way we have a little bit of change, and then this one can go more here, and then we have our 3. What do you think? Okay, so I don't have to trim anything. I don't have to trim any of the butterflies. Okay, so we're gonna add, I'm just gonna add a few dimensional or mini glue dots because I don't want to put glue all over my fingers. So I'm just gonna put 2 on that one, and I'm gonna put this one here in the middle. And we're gonna add this one to the one side, right? So we're gonna go on this side. So I think I can put 2. And then this one's gonna stick to the green to this side here, so you can see it lift. And then this one goes here in the top corner. So anyway, yes, yeah, you're right. Spring is great because there are no bugs. But what I don't like about spring is I need all my gear. I don't know if I'm going to wear boots. I'm going to wear rain boots. I'm going to wear, you know, sandals. I'm going to wear a sweater, a raincoat. Like every time we have a spring soccer tournament, I'm like, we're doing check luggage. Because everybody has to bring a winter coat, a sweater, or a raincoat. And I got to pack umbrellas. Like, ugh, such a pain. Anyway, that's my story. Okay, what do you think? So I have some glue dots here. Glue dots. They're not glue dots. They're embellishments. So we used the butterfly ones all week. And then, oh, this one's a ray of dots. And those ones are too dark. So let me grab my in color ones. Because we have 2 of the in colors. And then we're going to add a couple in there on the side. So I'm just going to put a couple more here. So then we still have odd number and we're still good. So these are the new in colors, and hydrangea hue, golden glow is part of this. You could probably get away, no, I don't think so. We could probably do the pink if we want to. I think crisp cantaloupe doesn't really pop, but I think we'll just use golden glow. So I'm gonna grab a couple of these and I'm gonna just add them here. That's too big. We'll go with the small ones. I'm just gonna add them in the space here where the dots are kind of not as sporadic. Okay. So anyway, I think that's plenty. No ribbon required. So then you open it up. You see all that beautiful pattern there. Oh, I like how this kind of matches that one. And then you open it up and you get there. And then you have your little sentiment. And then you got the cross match there. Wow, I like it. Yeah, totally different when you're traveling. Like, I like traveling in summer because then I can just do a carry-on. And I use vacuum bags anyway, but still, it's like you don't have to carry as much stuff. So this was my original and I did not like it. I hated it. It was too dark. So this white, the white underneath the vellum makes a big difference. So you can choose. So you don't have to put a second layer. Like I said, you could just put 1 layer and just do your 1 designer series rather than doing cardstock, layer, layer, right? So I have 3. You can just do cardstock, which is your base. Your card base is what I mean. And then your 1 layer. So you'd skip out on all the white if you have designer series paper. So don't like this one at all. And I like this one way better. So there you go. So we still have another base that we cut, right? As I was going along, I have this one. So then I'll find a different one to put in the picture. and see what I can make with it. Okay, so I hope you really liked that and that this inspires you to create one yourself. So just hit replay. So again, this will be in the playlist in my YouTube channel, which is a lot easier to find. And I'm not sure, where do I put it? I think I was putting it under a certain playlist. I like using playlists. So when you go to my channel, you'll see a list that says, you know, home, like a list of tabs. But when you go to playlist, it makes life so much easier to find the video because videos pop up based on the amount of hits that people, like amount of times it's been open. So if you go to the tab playlist on my YouTube channel, look for product of the month, and that's where you'll find this video. Okay, so thanks for joining me. Have a fantastic weekend and stay hydrated, and we'll see you Monday. So happy stampin'. Thank you.